All right, good evening, guys. So today we are still on design system, okay, and it's still the practical part of it. So we'll be jumping into Figma to actually do this. So last week we looked at designing color, okay, and also we looked at buttons too. So today we'll be looking at typography, and maybe if time permits, we'll now look at input field. So let's dive into it. But first, I think we'll see how to create we'll just do a little how to create component color with variables. So we are going to look into that first we before we proceed. Okay, so let's see. Colors. All right, so this is, well, did I complete this? Okay, yes, I did. So over the weekend, I had to run through this. I had to do a component for it. Sorry, apply style to it and also a variables. So now let's say let's look at something first before we jump into. So let's say we have, let's use this. So let's say we have a screen here. So I'm going to just name this practical. Practice renaming your field, your frames, be it frames, in text or whatsoever. It's going to help you in the long run. Okay, so let's say we have let's bring in a circle just for, so let's say we have this element here, and then we want to apply a color to it. So we have to come to fill. Now, if you notice, we have first gray here, and let me just take this to, okay, so we have first gray here on top, and then if we scroll back down, we are going to have second gray. And if you notice, there are difference in shapes. Here is having a square shape, and over here we are having a circular representation of the color. So this is one difference between, oh, you are using variables and wait, you are using variables or you are using style. So looking at primary, so this is me applying with variable. And most people feel it is, as I said earlier, that it looks like the same stuff with style. And but there are some functionalities that will help you when you are actually using variables. So as I basically personally I use variables for color, okay? Then for text style, well, text does not really have a direct access to using variables. Okay, so I use styles for typography. Sorry. So for typography, that's text. I use style. Then for color, I use variables. Okay, so I was just going to show you the difference between style and also variables while you are on this library. Okay, so let's dive into creating a um, creating a color palette using, so I'm just going to take this out. Let me use this for an example. All right, so this is just to refresh our memory, and so I'm going to detach everything here. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a different set of color here entirely. Let's say let's use this, no, to, okay, let's use this. All right, so okay, so I'll be selecting, let's see. All right, so let's see. So let's just take this because of them. I'm just going to fill this with let's just fill to them. Still going to select all, duplicate, create, and then have it quite simple. Okay, so going to, let's forget about the naming yet, because we already know this, how to go about this. So let's just I'm going to manually do this. Be much deeper. So let's say. I need something lighter. Let's just pick this manually. So let me delete this because of. So now to create a component using variables with this. So just basically come here, then. So this is the color which was created already. So you will come here, then let's use a different collection for this. So we said create collection, then I'm going to call it color 2. So you create and then you choose color as your, you want to create a color. Then this is where you will need this. Let me shift this out. Okay, so if we want to create a second color, we just have to add. Hold on. And just duplicate variable and then do the same thing. All right, so this is, let me just use this too. So this is how to create it. All right, Zinab, go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Where did you get this card from? The card that you renamed color 2.
From variable, there is variables here. So we are applying we are making color. So we are applying color. So we open variable. And then what I did here was I duplicated it. I right click and then duplicate variable. So
Okay, sir.
as to, yeah. Okay, so this is how to actually use this. So let's I just needed to show you guys that. So that will be it. So let's look at typography. So because of time, I had to bring in typography from my design system. All right. So yeah, I have more than I think 5 sections. So I have display. Okay. I have display as the first. I have heading. I have label. I have body. I have link too. So now, when it comes to writing out the names of your style, or when you are doing typography, it doesn't have a one way to go. So you can decide to name it however you will understand. Okay, so you can name it however you will understand. But let's before we proceed into this, let's look into something first. How do brands, bigger brands that already exist, how do they do their typography and the rest? Sorry, let's see. All right, so let me share this particular screen here. Hold a minute. So we have design systems from Shopify, and then we also have design system um, from Base. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show us how their design system works. All right, so this is a design system that's Base. This is what they call their design system. So we have, let's see, an overview of this. So yeah, let's look at how they name their, okay, so they have display, they have heading, um, hold on. So this is Huber design system, okay? Let's see. So looking at this is how they name their sizes. So they said X small, small, medium, large, X large, XX large. So this is where they use it. They use this in paragraph. X small, yes. Do they use it small in paragraph? Yes. Do they use it in as a medium in paragraph? Yes. So do they use XX large and X large in paragraph? No. Okay, so if we look at this is their font. So let's see their font size, which we can see that in token. Okay, so this is what they use in large when they set large. So their large is 69 pixel. Okay, and this has the weight of 70, which is bold. 700, sorry, 700, which is bold. And then this is medium. Okay, this is for medium. and this is 52, and then their line height is 64. So if you look at their small, so their small is 44, and their X small is 36. So if you look at heading, so they have all this. And how do they actually use it? All right. So when you are designing your typography, follow industry based standard. Don't try to do your own stuff by yourself. Don't try to come up with your own system. For mobiles, you decide to use 40 as a heading. Okay, it is not, it's going to be too big. So imagine you're using 40 pixel, it's going to be too big. So if you look at the heading here, so their heading is going to be small. This is for mobile. So they have said small, which has is a font size of 24 pixel, and X small also, which have a font size of 20. This could be used when you are giving a heading, or you're trying to give a label to a particular um, element you are designing. So also let's look at this from Shopify. Okay, this is their design system too. So if you look at fonts, so for their font, this is what they use. So they've created a font size that carries 11, from 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18. So when you are designing, you necessarily don't need all this. So you just pick the font type or the font style you'll be using while in the process of your design. So let's jump into the designing ourselves. So while coming up with my design system, I followed the already existing design sample, how it is, okay? Then, all right, so let's just jump right into it. Okay, so this has already been given a, this has already been, is already there in the design system. So we have puppies to be our font. Then we have the weight to be semi-bold. The size is 24. My line height is 130. And the line spacing, of course, is going to be 0. And what do I actually want to tag this? I want to tag it display medium. So while creating the style, I'll just have to say display medium. All right. So I'll will do the same thing for this, and so we have to be fast in today's class. Fortunately, okay, don't need a folder for this. So I need heading large. And I'm going to do the same thing here, heading medium. All right, Zainab, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, sir. Why are we not putting it in a folder? I think if you had put the slash, it would have been easier, or there's no need for it in typography.
Yes. Well, in this case, I don't want to put it in a folder because it's just too it's not as much as I want it. So I have for display, I only have to. Okay, so well, you can put it in a folder too if you want to. But I don't want to. Let's see. Let me see something. Okay, let's put it in a folder then, because it's going to be well arranged too. All right, that has been done. So that is in a folder. So then let's see. So this has already been done, and we have this to be our heading. That's what we call it, small. Okay, so that's I can go. Okay, let me see how to run over this with. So this is label slash large. Okay, and then this. Medium. Okay, so okay, I need for body. Let me just do this. Body. Okay, so let's stop here. Let's link video. Do it later on in live. Okay, so now that we've created our, this is how to create it using style. Okay, so I was to show you how to also create it using variables. But creating this using variables is well, a lot. A lot. It does not have one process or one way of doing it. But well, most times if you are most times if you actually, there might be no need when you are designing or when you are creating components like this to actually have a to create it using variables, except you are working with a lot of you're working with a lot of projects, okay, and also you want to learn new, you want to be do what others are doing. What I mean by that is you want to improve as the tech is going, and then also you want to try out new things. All right, and so that is when you actually need to use text as a variable. But if not, well, putting it as a style does the work already for you. So, do we have any questions so far before? Let me see if time permits for us to do the variable. All right, Zainab, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, my question is much today. So, is there a resource file that we can get, that we can lay our hands on, that can tell us what what PX we use for header, what we use for mobile, what we use, all those things, so that it make our work easier, so we don't have to guess wrongly. Can we get a resource file for that?
Okay, I'll make that available. Make that available. Just remind me, or when okay, yes, I'll make that available. So just need to remind me, Mary, during after the class also.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So any other question? All right. If no question, so let's proceed to how do we create
Hello,
this
sir.
with. Who wants to say something?
Hello, can you?
Yeah, Mr. Yemi, I can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening. I just like so that resource file, will it contain
Please, your
foundation?
voice is down.
Wow, okay. Can you hear me better now, sir?
It's manager. Would you go ahead?
Okay, so that design system, sorry, that resource file that you said you were going to give us, does it also contain exactly what we do for elements like shadows, like blurs and the likes, part of those things you asked us to do in the task?
Uh, well, if I give you resource files to everything, it will make us lazy now. So do research. Do research. Most times those when you talk about shadowing, most times it depends on where you are using it. That's how you tweak it to actually work best. Okay, there's how someone else is using a shadow in a particular section. It will not give how it will not give a good UI, and there's also how someone else will use it that same in a different interface. It will also give. So that's you tweak it to give you what you want. All right.
Yes, sir. Sorry, secondly, I want to take us back to iconography. Um, in the last class, you were showing us how you get your uh, icons from the community. You click on something, maybe file or assets on the left side of the Figma UI. But now the issue is I've tried that maybe after this education plan something. I tried that, but I couldn't connect to the community to get those icons. I don't know. I've always used Iconify and the likes. I also like to use that one. I don't know if you can enlighten me further.
Well, where do you get your Iconify? Is it not from the plugins here?
Yes, it's from the plugins, but the one you did, I'm not sure it was from the plugin.
Just go to your plugins and type Iconify. It's going to come out. It will connect. Maybe at that time it was maybe network and the rest.
Sorry, sir. I think he meant those group of icons that you copied from, those ones that have math, arrows. I think that's what he's trying to say. That where did you get that from exactly?
Okay, it's from I said you can get things icons most times from the community. All right. Is Mr. Yemi, is that what you meant?
Yes, it's what I meant. So, but my issue is how to go into that community. How do I
How to
get?
get to how to get to community? Just go to your home. Then it's now templates and tools. Okay, so it does not have it was changed. So it's
Okay.
now template. Yes. So this is where
Oh,
community is now.
oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
It's template. Yes, it's template and tools. When you see templates, immediately after draft, then you'll see templates below it.
Sir.
Okay, so uh, so let's see how do we work with variables when it comes to typography. So but before then, most times, let's see, um I'll also like to show you another way to get your typography. So getting your typography, you can use plugins. The plugins name, I think, let me see if I have it here. No. So I think that should be typeface or type scale. I think so. All right. So this is another way how you can generate your typography. So you can just um click on run. I'm sure this is it. Hold on, let me see something. Should be typeface. Personally, I don't use I don't use these things for I do it myself. So think type nope. let's say typography. Okay, so think typography style generator should do that too. Okay, so do I want? And this boy has covered my side. Okay, so what this actually do is it helps you. This particular one now helps you in maybe when you are done applying you and you want a structure way of putting it out there. Okay, so this is where this comes in. I don't think this actually generates. See, basically, just generate your typo personally, like do it, tweak it your own way. So if you look at why we're doing it, our sizes were in 8, 6, 4, and the rest of it. So it should be in that way too. Right. So this is currently what I have here on my typography is the basic styles or sizes you use when it comes to designing on the when it comes to designing on any platform, be it web, mobile, desktop, and the likes of it. All right. So without further ado, so let's see how this particular one might confuse us a bit. So if you don't pay attention, you will lose out. Okay, so let me take this out. So why most times why do we use variables to define our text? So let's say we have here. So there is no place that I will go to variables now. Then I will now see, okay, let's create collections here. Then let's call it typo. Okay. Then I want to create, and then I will have it that they will say text. Okay, even as far as string is text, but you still need to tweak some things. So I'm going to show us step by step. All right, so there's no way that when you come to yes, then and you now click on it, and then font type will now come out, and then you start writing just as text style. Text style is so direct, but when it comes to variable, it is not like that. So let's see how we do that. I'm going to delete this ones because it's not necessary. We'll keep the color typo. Let me delete this so that it doesn't distract us. Okay. So I'm going to rename this to typography. Or let me just delete it entirely so that will not confuse us. So we only have when did I create this one? So I'm going to delete this too. So we only have color to be our variable. Okay, it's only color that we have as a variable. So we are going to now create a collection. So this is where you come to, you create your collection, and then we are going to name it typography. You can name it whatever you want. So when you are done, so your first step is we are going to define the font we are using. Okay. So let's say we create, so you are going a font. Simon, what are you doing on my screen? So font is a text. So we are going to use strings, right? So we have color, we have number, we have string, which is text, and then we have boolean. All right. So we are going to use strings. All right. So I'm going to name this font family. So I'm going to name this font family slash. I'm going to, let's say you have multiple applications you are working with. You have multiple applications you are working with. Hold on. family, font family, my bad. Font family, then slash. So I'm going to call this KodeCamp. KodeCamp, let's say I'm doing KodeCamp application and the rest. So I'm going to call it KodeCamp. So now it's going to create a font family used in KodeCamp. So now if you look at my fonts, what did I use? I used Poppins, right? So the string value is going to be Poppins. All right, so let me show you how to do this. So when you are done with this, the next step to do is come to your font, okay? Then click on your font. Then this is where we are going to attach. Hold on, I think I changed something here. Why trying to run something? So let's see. Variables. I'm going to name this int. I think that's what I used before. So I'm going to name this int. I used Poppins before. So why trying to prepare for the class? It was changed. So let's see. Blah blah. Okay. So let's see. So we come here, select on the font. So instead of you changing, so I'm just going to click on here that says apply variables. So then I'm going to choose font family / KodeCamp. So this is what this is going to display. So I'm going to close it. All right. So if we look at here, I can do the same thing for you. So let me apply it to like let me apply it to, so this one is still carrying copy, but that's, so let's apply inter. Let's see. Let me see something. So it's going to change to inter. So okay, let's see. So let's apply here. So, and also I'm going to apply to heading too. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to just this particular site, just for by style. Did I do that here? Okay, so now what we have done now is remember I'm using it for only for now display and heading. So let's look at what is going to happen now. All right, so if I come to variables and then so if I come to variables and then I click on enter, then let's say I want to change the font style of every font that I've used. Okay, so let's use okay, is there anybody that has a font style in mind? Any font style in mind? The first person to give
Roboto.
me, why are you giving me Roboto now? That allow me to even finish stuff. So I was going to say the first person to give me his best font style, we are going to use it. Okay, so I've been given the font style font family Roboto. So we are going to name this Roboto. So if I click outside of this, let's check. So if I come here, did you notice any, let me go back. Now notice that when we change the font style, look at the display preview that we have here. Okay, so notice when we change from Inter to Roboto, okay, the font style or the font family also change. So this is a good way of using this, such that you don't need to, because if let's say you want to change this in a style, so let's say we did not do for label. So I'll have to personally come here and then click here, change this, and then come back here and then change this to Roboto. So I'll have to do this for all the styles that I've done. But when you apply it as a variable, so you see that since it was attached, I called the font family to it, is now going to update in all. So it's basically like a component. So it works as component works. So do we have any question before I proceed to the next stage? Today's class might be short because I think I have a light, my battery challenge now. So that's why I'm attending to questions while we are going. Any question? All right, so I'll take that as you know. All right, so now the question is, how do we apply font size to it? Okay, how do we apply font size to it? GBK, where are you confused? I told you you have to pay attention. Pay attention to it. This particular section is going to be a bit, yeah, it's going to be, well, that's confused if you're not following. Okay, so where are you confused at? Let me see if I can help your life small. Okay, so I'll take it as you are not confused. Okay, so we are going to move ahead to give out font sizes. So first of all, you need to be sure of what are your font sizes, okay? Yeah. Okay. Ajibike, you will go to YouTube and then watch the video after the class. It will be uploaded before tomorrow, or by this time tomorrow you should have a copy of it online. Okay, so first of all, you need to know what are your font sizes. Okay, so we have font size 36, we have 24, then we have 36. So we are going to only take care of. So in your own time, maybe when you are doing it, you can do it for you can do it for all. So we are going to only have 5 categories now. So the first step is go to variables. All right. Then we will have to remember, we'll click all variables. Make sure you don't enter font family. This is a different component. So now we want to create a component for but still under typography for the sizes. So we are going to come here, then create variables. So for the variables, I'm going to call it number. Okay. So I'm going to call it number. Now, okay, let's see. I hope we are still following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as I said, be sure of your font size. Okay, let's do it this way. So let me pick out the font sizes that we have. Let's pick them out. So I'm going to take this boy out. So this is basically what we want. I need 24 too. So I'm going to take them outside. They are not of this wall again. So I'm going to change the color to white. Then I'm going to put it set as to arrange it well. I'm just going to give it 24. All right, so let's proceed. All right, so we use our variables. Okay, I say we are going to be in all variables. So let me delete this. So you are going to create a component, and then you are going to call it number. Okay. This is still here. Let me delete this. So number, what are we going to name it? I'm going to name it my font. So I'm going to name it the font style. So I'm going to say font size. Okay. So, okay, let's do like this. Font size. Okay. So now remember how many numbers of font size we are working with. I said we are working with, let's see. We are working with 5, right? Yes, we are working with 5. So this is what you need to be. So since we are working with 5 font size, the next step you have to do is we are going to make this a folder, font size slash, let's name it font size slash, let's call it, okay, let's say 01. Okay. So, but let's take this up. Okay. Font size slash 01. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I think there is something. Okay. So this is let's use it. So font size 01. So I'm going to duplicate this. For let's see. Hold on. Sorry about that. Going to duplicate this. Get variable. Get it again. So we have 5. So we have 5 now. So I'm going to name this 02, 03, 04, and 05. All right. So we've gotten for our 5. So now we are going to now give these font sizes, this particular. So we are going to say that 01 font size is, let's start from the least to top. So we have that 01 is, okay, let's start from top, 36. We have this to be 24. We have this to be, okay, this is, the next one here is 26. So we have the next one to be 24, 22, and then we have 16 with the last. So let's confirm that. So I'm going to rearrange this. Okay. Any question? Okay. So just to be clear, you can decide to just, okay, let's name this font size. Let's just name this font size. Font size, font size, let's say font size 01. I'm just going to copy this so that we know this is going to be home. Font size 03. So this is just a naming for this. What is, just take care of the naming convention. So For your font size 01, it is the biggest one, so biggest to the. So when you are done, now you are going to now come to your text. All right. So remember, this is our display is our 36. So you can come here to your text and then click on this. So when I click on this, I'm going to come here to where I have 36. So I'm going to choose apply variable. So why applying variable was my 36? Well, Figma has made it sure that we have seen where our 36 is. So our font size 01 is 36. So I'm going to apply it there. So we move to the next one, 24. We do the same, we repeat the same procedure. 24. So we do the same thing to 26. Sorry, apply 26. Then we do the same thing to the last one, which is 16. So this is you applying this to. So let's say you want to change your font style. So you have to come to your variables, and then if you change it here, it's going to change on your text style. All right. So any question? If you have any question, ask where we proceed, because the class is going to be a short one, as I said earlier. All right, Zinab, go ahead.
Okay, sir. So creating these variables, is it really necessary, or you can just stick to this font style alone?
As I said earlier, if you are doing a complex design, you need variables. But at the same time, text style can still do the work for you. So it depends on individual choice. Remember, before I started this, I just said I want to show you how to do it. It's not necessary, except the first one that might be useful for designers when you are creating your font family. Okay, so this particular one is your font size. All right. So when you are creating your font family, well, yes, you can actually use it. Yes, and also for mobile responsiveness. Thank you, Vera. All right. So it works well when you are using variables also for mobile responsiveness too. So maybe during the course of us designing, we are going to use all this in design system, so we can now see how it works. All right. So today, I don't think we'll have that opportunity to look at how to use it in design. So when we are doing designs, we'll show you how to use it and how it works. All right. So any other question? All right. No question. Okay. So okay. So let me see if time will permit to run this other one. So let's look at how to have our name. We said preferred name. So now we have done with the font family, and also the font size. Okay, so before we go that, let me just bring in a icebreaker here. So have you ever, while designing, then you have difficulty, like there's where you made mistake and then you want to change the name? So instead of doing find and replace and all those stuff, so you can actually select, let's say, remember we've changed this to Roboto. So let's say for this font, I want to rename it. So I can just select this Poppins. Then I will come where we have this our property bar, where we have two selected. The next icon there says edit multi-text or multi-edit text. So if I click on there, if I just type Roboto, so it's going to appear, going to be the same thing that will work on the second one. So that was just to bring to your notice that Figma has such features. So, and another way this can be done is also by finding what was this poppins. Okay, so if I find poppins, I can also, yes, I want it to be in this page and I want it to be only text. Okay, then I can also replace. Let me see. So replace, so I want to replace it with raw bottle. So these are good things you can do to actually can replace all. Right. So to ease your work as a designer, there are some things you don't have to be doing it manually one after another. So that has been done. So that's one of the features that Figma has made it possible for us to have. So now let's look at how do we bring in our font style into this. So first of all, I am going to let's see. Let me see something. All right, so let's see. So first of all, come here. Then still on all variables or all, I'm going to now call it I'm going to call it we'll create a new collection. Okay, creating new collection. I'm going to call it typography. Typography typography style. Well, that's what I can come up with. So we'll create and we'll use string is a text. All right. So what we are going to write this to be display large. Okay. So for your display large, we are going to now let's see. Let's see. I need this since we're putting it in a folder. So I need this to be in a folder too. So I'm going to say display slash. So it's going to, so let me rename this to be display. Okay, now let's allow it. All right. So the next step now is to come to your large. Okay, or we can say, yes, come to your large, and then to where we have this string value. So we are going to apply variable. So applying variable, you are going to choose your font family. Okay. So when you choose your font family, so that is for your display font for this, that it is under your family. So we are now going to create another yes, we are now going to create another string. All right, so we are going to create another string. Do we know what we are doing now? We are trying to create a family. We are trying to create a system now, like that will carry everything together. So that's why we've said that display, and it is a font size that is large that belongs to the font family of this particular application. All right. So we are going to now create a variable called number. Okay. So when we create a variable called number, we are going to bring in this particular that under large, like under, okay, let's rename this to be font size, sorry, font size display, font size display large. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and then take it here too again. Hold on. Okay, so this is taking in number. The font. So why was it doing that way? Okay, I guess I'm not supposed to keep space. Font size. Font size. Let's see. Display. Why was it doing like that? Font size. Display large. All right. So now I'm going to now choose a font style that has large. Then, so remember our large is 01. So I'm just going to choose it here. And then this takes care of this. So you can do the same thing for all. All right. You can do the same thing for all. So if I come here, so I'm going to close this. If I come here, then select here and then come to, let's say, let's detach this. Then I come to here and then I choose display. Okay. Then take it. So it's going to now bring in my font family directly, and it's also going to bring in the font size. So that particular process is you combining two things at the same time. Let's clear this up. Is you combining two things at the same time. Okay. All right. Maybe just go through the video in your spare time. You understand it better by and by. So if you want to actually grow in design, okay, that don't be comfortable in that particular place that you are. Okay, try to learn new things, try to see how to move as industry is moving. So one of the advantages that I noticed about font using variable, okay, I think I haven't really been using it with font, but with color, is that if I should move my display system, or if I should move my design system to a new project, it's going to automatically adapt to it. Like it's going to create it. It's not, I don't have to come back and then start creating style different, like style afresh. So unlike let's say style guide, if I actually want to move this particular, let's say if I want to move my color, okay, if I want to move my color down to a new project, that okay, I want to use this particular template, then I will now change maybe the primary color. Remember, my gray color is the same thing throughout. Black does not change. Then my info color is the same thing. My error color. So I want to move this. I don't want to spend time on this. Then move this to a new file. It is going, when if I use variables to define my color, it's going to automatically move itself to the new product. But when it comes to style, I'll have to come back and then name it again from top. So that is one advantage of using variables. And then you can see the advantage of using variables when it comes to typography, that I can just come to my variable and then changing yeah, so changing this my font family here will affect everything instead of manually doing it one after another. All right, so do we have any question? I think that'll be all for today. Yes, that should be all for today. Any question? All right, Vera, go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Um, so I don't know if maybe it's possible to, okay, even though you said we should watch the video again, maybe in our next class, if you could just go through again with us. I actually know the importance of variables, but like to be sincere, I was really I was really not getting entirely everything. and I'm not sure if I can't really point out exactly what I don't understand. So maybe if you don't mind, if the next class you can just help us go through and just brush it up. I don't know if that would be fine so that we get it. And probably we try to apply it, and I don't know. Because I'm really not
Yeah.
getting. I don't know if when I go back to watch, if I'll even understand it because it was too technical for me.
No problem. I'll think about it. Give the guy.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Please, please, can we get material on this? I mean, can I get material so that I can read more, please?
On variables.
Yes, on these variables, how to do it, how to arrange everything.
Uh,
Yeah.
there are materials everywhere online. Okay, so do research. That's where research comes in. Do research. Okay. As Vera has said, as pleaded, so we might look at this again. Because currently now I'm rushing over it. Yes, I am rushing over it because of the current condition that I am now. Okay, so by next class, I think I'll make all possible ways. I was depending on NEPA, never knew power hold in fold their power. Okay, so by next class, I'm going to take us on it again. So maybe basically I might create a new file entirely for this particular typography site. Then I'm going to just take it again from scratch. Okay, think basically that's what I will do. But in the meantime, do research about it to get clarity, like to get more understanding on it, so that when once I start doing it, then you'll be like, oh yes, you get to understand it better by and by. Okay. I hope that's all, because right now condition okay. So a deadline cannot be extended to do your tax. Even if you do tax, don't be lazy. Let's not be lazy. Okay. So I'm going to say we've come to the end of our class today, and the questions we have currently, I've gone through it, and also I will see you tomorrow. Sorry, on Friday. All right. We'll meet on Friday to look more into variables. So using variable is going to help you. Yes, using it is going to help in your everyday life. So, and it's going to make your design more smoother and consistency at the same time. And also maintaining your design system is going to be easy. All right. So let's close there for today. All right. So do have a wonderful day. Bye guys.